So with Collins being in the news so much recently, it was time to ask him about the Jonah Williams trade. Because let's be honest, Jonah Williams is, at this moment in time, the direct competitor, the direct person that is going to be competing for the right tackle position with Collins, with Jackson Carman, with Hakeem, with Cody Ford. Right now, Collins' biggest competition will be Jonah. So here's what he had to say about the whole situation. Jonah is going to be fine. He's one heck of an NFL player. He's a first-round pick. He's done it, Collins said, according to Golf Hobson on Bengals.com. I've gotten all the confidence in the world in Jonah with the type of person he is. It's like every one of these guys in here. To me, man, all it is we're going to be better and we're going to have depth and we're going to be deep and we're coming and we're not stopping. So, I have to speak on this because I do find it funny. Is if you saw my video yesterday, every time Collins speaks, it's always, I'm the starter, and we have great depth. We have great backups. We have great, players behind me. And again, as an NFL player, you should always have that mindset, right? You think you're the best at that position. You think you're the best. You're going to go out there and compete for the best and show you you're the best. But it's kind of like he's trying to spell something. He's manifesting this into existence that he is going to be the starter no matter what. It's his job to lose. And I think over the last couple months / year now, we have, as a group here, decided it's not really Collins' job. Well, yes, Collins, once he comes back healthy, he will have a chance to compete for it, possibly have a chance to compete for it, because there's also a chance that they just go ahead and say, you know what, Collins, we loved you, man, you did great for us, but we're moving in a different direction. And all of this starts, all this talk, all this information, all this breakdowns, it starts on Thursday. Because if on Thursday, Cincinnati takes someone like Darnell Wright, after they just took, Orlando Brown in free agency, Collins is 1,000% going. 1,000%. Him and Jonah are going. And it will be a combination of two players. It will be Darnell Wright, Jackson Carman, and Cody Ford or Hakeem. That will save $21 million for the Bengals, and they have their franchise right tackle moving forward. Now, let's say Darnell Wright is not on the board, and let's say they do take someone like DeJuan Jones. Well, DeJuan Jones and a couple other guys are more question mark players. So Collins might be able to stay on the team, kind of, have that job for a little bit of time and see where they could go with that. But no matter what, if they take a right tackle in the first round in this upcoming draft, it's almost the end for Collins. It really is. You don't take a right tackle in the draft to have him be a backup for you. You don't take a right tackle in the draft to never see what you have in him and see if he can become the starter. If you know you have a starter at that position, especially right tackle, listen, if the Bengals are confident that Collins is going to be back by week 1 and ready to go by week 1, right? They're not taking a right tackle first round. They're not. Because there's no reason to. You take somebody else in another position you might need, rather than a best player available. You don't go out there and say, okay, we're taking right tackle just to have a really good backup right tackle when we're confident our starter can get the job done. You take a right tackle because you're saying, listen, we have a guy who's costing us $8 million, and we don't think he's going to be a starter moving forward for the foreseeable future, so we're going to take his replacement, and if he's healthy and can play, awesome. If our rookie first-round guy is ready to play, though, he's going to be playing, and we're going to be getting rid of our starter. It is what it is. Again, I truly believe this, and I'll say this a gazillion times, that I think Collins coming out right now, right before the draft, and saying how he's healthy, ready to go. He said today that he could put a brace on his knee and actually play today. Like, you go out there and play today if he had a brace on himself, I think it's all smokes and mirrors just to get, the Bengals to think about other positions, right? And they're not thinking about, okay, are we going to take a right tackle in this draft? Are we going to do this, that, and third? In Joan and Collins' head, the ideal situation, and of course, because this is his job, is that the Bengals just go somewhere else. Just draft another position, right? He comes back healthy. He plays good. And I think also Collins knows, and this is kind of spelled to a lot of NFL players, not just Collins, is that if you're a player who you believe you're better than or you believe is not going to take your job, you're always supportive of that player. When a team, let's say, for example, when the Packers drafted Jordan Love in the first round, right? Aaron Rodgers was ticked off. If they would have taken Jordan Love in the 5th round, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have said anything. Because when you draft someone there, you're like, ooh, okay, you're drafting him for a reason. And the reason is my job. So, it is what it is. Like I said, at the end of the day, the Bengals right now in a really good spot. Because they have a situation where if Darnell Wright is on the board at 28, they could take him and they can move forward with a new era and a new offensive line. If they don't, he's not on the board at 28, they could go with corner. They could go with running back, tight end, defensive line, edge rusher, anything, right? They're not forced to take anything because if Collins does come back, I know it's been very split between my comic section on people loving Collins, hating Collins, loving Collins. But at the end of the day, no matter what you feel about Collins, once he comes back, he's at least a capable starter, okay? Then if he goes, if you take his replacement, he's gone. If not, he's in there. Now, again, Jonah Williams also is in there too, but if you do draft the right tackle at 28, you're probably trading away Jonah Williams, getting a 2nd or 3rd round pick in the draft, right? Getting some extra depth in the draft, a couple extra players, and then you're also going ahead then and probably trading or cutting Collins. Now, right now, Collins is hurt, so you can't trade or cut him, but once he's healthy, out the door. 1,000% out the door if you do draft a lot of capital, put a lot of capital in a tackle in this upcoming draft. But, again, like I said, very nice. I wish the best for Collins. I'm not saying this because I'm like a hater of Collins or I just can't stand L. Collins. But we have seen this many times in the NFL when players are simply just injury prone. Collins doesn't really grade very well anyway when he plays. He's not the greatest right tackle of all time. And I do want to see Joe Burrow protected as much as humanly possible. So, yeah. I don't really like the idea of my franchise quarterback not being protected. And if Collins isn't the best option, you gotta look elsewhere. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.